I just had a conversation with one of the people on my team. He's one of my editors and I can consider him a friend now. He mentioned to me that he's trying to create a new business idea, right? He's trying to expand a new business idea. And he needed, like, I'm not gonna go into details about what the business idea is, but he needed an investment fund from the beginning because this is a complicated business idea. It's not something that's super easy to start without an initial capital, to start without money at the beginning. You know how some businesses like this one, you can just start by posting content or whatever. But if you wanna start a car company, for example, you're gonna probably need to put some investment. You're gonna need to buy parts, you're gonna need to buy a warehouse, you're gonna need to buy stock, you're gonna need to buy things. And this business that my friend was trying to create required some upfront capital to hire software engineers, software developers, because it was in the realm of like video editing, business creation, that sort of stuff. And we had a conversation and he kept on asking me this one thing: where can I get an investor to fund my idea? Because his idea was great, but the company that was gonna, publish it and make it popular basically needed to see a prototype. And this prototype wasn't gonna be free. He needed an investment and he couldn't get this investment because it was a big amount up front. So he kept on asking me, looking for investors. How can I find, I live somewhere in Asia where I can't, find, the reputation here in India and Pakistan. In these countries, they don't want to pay, like, that sort of stuff. Can you help me find an investor in USA, in the UK or Canada possibly, somewhere in the West? Because the guys are probably more likely to invest. And then we had a discussion and I made him realize something. In the realm of business, in the realm of life, in whatever realm, but in this case it was business, absolutely nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to invest in your idea. Nobody is going to fund it. Nobody cares about you and nobody trusts you. You have no reputation. There's no reason basically for anybody to invest in you. Nobody has a reason to invest in you, especially with that upfront capital. But he was desperate. He's a young, ambitious man and he wants and desires the results that he wants to achieve. And he's a hardworking man, but absolutely nobody was going to come and save him and give him the money he needed. So what did I tell him? I told him the best businesses start with almost zero capital. Why? Because that business is truly, you will put your blood, heart, and soul into that business. You will put everything into that business to make sure it succeeds. The best businesses start with zero capital. And not only will you put everything, but it teaches you so much more than if somebody just dropped capital, than if somebody just throw money at you and said, yeah, bro, go start your business. I realized a few years ago when my body looked like this, like a sack of fucking potatoes, like shit basically, and I felt like shit and my mental health was shit and I was spiraling down into a hole. You know what I realized? It wasn't going to stop by itself. A lot of people have this stupid belief, a lot of men have this stupid belief of, oh, it's fine, let me just exist. Let me continue existing until something just spawns in and makes my life better. Only the extremely lucky ones, like say people who win the lottery, get that privilege. And it's not even a privilege in reality because it just makes you a weak soul. When you think and hope for something to just spawn out of the blue and save you and put you in a better position, you learn nothing and your soul gets weaker and you're looking for a false reality, you're looking for false hope. This truth of something is coming to save you is not a truth at all. It's a big lie and it's a big sham propagated by the people, or not even the people up top, the elites, saying it's fine, just be weak, something good will happen to you. Just save and save and save and save. And maybe when you're 62, you have 500k in the bank and you can go on 3 holidays a year after working for fucking slavery over 40 years of your life. Maybe. Nobody was going to save me from my video game addiction. When I would sit for 10, 11, 12, 13 hours on the fucking PlayStation. I had a PlayStation 4 that I was severely addicted to. When I was sitting there for multiple hours at a time, my mother tried to help, didn't work. My family tried to help, didn't work. Nobody was coming to save me. The only person who could save my addiction was myself. I had multiple addictions and I'm not going to speak too deeply about them here, but I had many addictions, many of which you have. You have those deep, dark, disgusting addictions that you have, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. That you have right now. I had them too. And nobody was going to save me. Number one, because I wasn't going to talk about them. And number two, because even if I talked about them, nobody could help. Nobody could help. So who was going to save me? Nobody except myself. When I was dead broke and I was sending my DoorDash referral code on random Discord servers, hoping for someone to use it. Nobody was going to save me. I had to dig out of that trench with my bare fingernails. I had to dig out of the fucking coffin with my fingernails until they bled, until I made money. This business was not easy to make, and I had no help at the beginning. I searched and I learned myself. Nobody helped me. Nobody taught me how. I dug and I did all the research and I did all the trials and tribulations and trial and error, and I did it all myself. Why? Because nobody was going to save me. I had no investment funds. I had nobody throwing money at me. Nobody is going to save you. Now let's say you were really lucky. Let's say you were really, really lucky and you're one of the few lucky people where once in every blue moon, life just decides to throw something really good, something really, really precious and valuable, an opportunity. It decides to throw an opportunity your way. Does that count as life saving you? No. Because you have to capitalize on the opportunity. Let's give this example. Let's say you had a podcast. It's a very small podcast, but you bring people around and somebody you look up to, someone really famous, right? He has a big audience. Let's say in this case, for example, it's Andrew Tate. He saw your podcast and he DM'd you and you have a few thousand subscribers, 2,000. You could be making a lot of money with that subscriber count, but you just aren't. You're not that good of an entrepreneur. But Andrew Tate saw your podcast and he decided to bring you over. He decided to DM you, right? He DMs you and he says, I'm inviting you over to my podcast. I'd like to have a chat with you. There is life giving you a golden opportunity on a golden plate loaded with diamonds. Literally sprinkled with diamonds on the side. There is an opportunity for you to change your life forever. But there's an issue. There's a caveat. You don't have the money to fly over to Romania. You don't have the money to buy the plane ticket. What do? What would you do? You know, if you ask him, hey, can you please pay for my plane ticket? You'll literally never see him again. He'll never even look at you. He'll feel disgusted of even inviting you in the first place. So you're not going to DM Tate and say, hey bro, please pay for my ticket. Or DM the person, whoever it is you look up to, right? You're not going to DM the guy who invited you to his podcast, please pay for my ticket and pay for my lunch on the way too. What are you going to do? You will brute force your way into making money because you know no one is coming to save you and you have to find a way to make that money. You know you have to. No one is coming to save you. Tate is not coming to save you. The guy who invited you to the podcast is not going to pay for your ticket. He's not going to pay for he's completely ignorant of your situation. He doesn't know you're broke. He doesn't care. You will find a way to make the money. You will find a way to get there at the specific time he invited you to, whatever it is. This is the exact same situation you should be living with your entire life. Life will not throw money at you. It will not throw the body at you. It will not throw the woman you want at you just like that. You have to work for it. I'll give you another example. One of my close friends, he's my editor. He's DMing, or he was DMing this guy, and this guy is a billionaire, right? He's a multi-millionaire, I don't know, but he has a lot of money and he's an artist. I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire. But he's an artist, he makes, clothing, art, whatever. He has multiple businesses. And somehow, some way, my friend, he got into contact with this guy. He literally spam DM'd everybody this billionaire follows, sent him a video, and he wanted to get into contact with him. Why? Because he had drive and ambition to make money. But he was broke, that's the issue. He got into contact with the billionaire and he mentioned to him that I can make designs, and the billionaire was, he was excited. It's like, okay, fine, let me see it. So what does my friend do? He goes onto some editing software and he realizes, oh fuck, the editing software costs $200. Keep in mind, my friend, the editor, he was completely broke. What did he do? You think he could have asked the billionaire, hey bro, can you please give me $200? I needed to edit, I needed to make this for you. Imagine that. Imagine if he DM'd. Don't you think he would be absolutely disgusted at the peasantry happening in front of him? So what did my friend do? Found a way and he paid it. He paid the $200 himself. Of course he could have asked him, but he would have got disgusted. Of course the billionaire hypothetically could pay the $200 in an instant, but he never asked him. And he did it himself. And now they're working together. And profits were made. Big profits. You must understand that as a man, life is extremely, extremely bipolar. There is a bar of bliss and terror, of triumph and complete defeat. And as a man, The bar is very wide. This means you can be at either extremes. You can have the live through the worst, deepest, darkest trenches, or you could be at the top echelon of humanity, the top echelon of society, and experience the finest fruits life has to offer. You can be at the complete opposite sides. As a man, life is extremely bipolar, bro. You can be on either side. Okay, and either side has its, obviously, you want to be on this side, the higher side versus the lower side, but the bar is very wide. This is different than the bar for women. The bar for men is like this. You can go on either side. You can go far to one side, right? But the bar for women is much more stable. They have less room for the highest rewards, but they have less room for error too. They have less room for extreme moments of depression and defeat and loss of everything. They have way less room for this. You can look through like the unaliving statistics. You can look through all of those. Like, this is not a hypothesis. This is simple truth. There's less room for error. There's less room for error in a woman's life, but there's also less room for reward. For a man, this bar exceeds tremendously the error. The room for error is so high, but the room for reward is so high. What do you think about this, bro? What do you think about this? There's pros and cons to the fact that we have this, but do you prefer to have this pro of really like risky, big bar of error and improvement? Do you have this desire do you prefer to have this risk? Or are you fine with having a stable, monotone life? We know how dangerous and how shitty it can feel to be at like one of the ends or the bad end of this big bar that men have. We know how shitty it can feel, right? This big bar, do you think it's a pro or a con? Because if you think this is a con, frankly, get the fuck out of my channel. Go watch some bullshit Sidemen TikToks. You fucking unambitious, lazy rat! You must understand that as a man, bro, and this is really the truth because I've been there. As a man in your deepest and darkest corners, please understand this and embrace it. There's a difference between understanding a concept and truly embracing it. Truly embracing it. I've said this before and it's the truth. Understand that as a man in your deepest, darkest corners, no matter what you think, man, whether it's your family, yeah, they can kind of care for you, but nobody really feels for you. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck enough to try and save you. As a man, this is a curse or a gift depending on your perspective. But nobody will feel for you. You have to understand and embrace this reality. Embrace this reality because once you accept it, you will never for a single day in your life be okay with being lazy. You will never be okay with being lazy. You will never be okay with having a single day that detracts from your goals instead of pushing you towards it. You may have a bit of off days, but overall, you will never be fine with a day being negative towards your goals because you will never be fine with being lazy because you know that you have to work for what you want. You have to work because no one is coming to save you. The opportunity is not coming. Remember, it is not coming and you can't live your life hoping for that once in a blue moon, once in a fucking rainbow moon event to happen. You cannot hope for this black swan event to happen where something just spawns out of the blue, where some billionaire DMs you, where some fucking lottery ticket ends up to be a winner. You cannot be hoping for this hope. You cannot be hoping for this false reality because it will not happen. So many men hope for it. So many men hope for it, and then what is their final regret on their deathbed? I wish I lived. Think of that. I wish I lived. I wish I lived. You understand? You can scroll down in the comments and you'll find so many people saying, thank you, bro. This video was really good. I needed it. It's at the right time. It's perfect. It's whatever. It helped me. So many comments say, bro, you've saved my life. Bro, you've saved me. Bro, I really needed this. But in reality, bro, if my videos have helped you, if you think my videos have saved you, it's not me. It is not me. I am the messenger and you absorbed the message and implemented it into your own life. I never changed your life for you. I get these comments. I never changed your life. I never changed your life. I sent a message out to you. You absorbed, embraced, and understood this knowledge, transmuted it into a piece of information you can use and implement and apply to your daily basis. You changed your life. You changed your life, bro. When you get into a car and you drive down to the corner store, do you say the car drove me to the corner store or I drove to the corner store? I am simply the vehicle that sends you towards your success. I am simply the vehicle that sends you towards your bliss and escapes the trenches for you. I am not the person who picks you up and throws you there. I am the vehicle that you can get into and understand and accept the message, and you take that. In my main product, Project 10K, I don't hold your hand like a little bitch and call you and say, yeah, I'm gonna tell you. No. I make you a fucking man inside the product. I show you what to do, but I don't fucking do the steps for you. And all of my customers are so glad and grateful and successful with it. You can take the information I put there and use it in your future businesses, even with the people I coach directly. The people I coach directly, and this, like, it's not an offer that's available in public. It's very high ticket, right? And I do one-to-one. I coach them directly and they make immense progress and they're extremely thankful. But who gave them the results? Themselves. That's why in my main product, I don't baby you like a little bitch. I tell you exactly what to do, exactly directly what to do, but I don't do it for you. I don't baby you and do it for you. And my customers and my clients and my students are all so successful and extremely grateful that I teach in this way. I don't baby you like a little bitch, bro. I don't baby you and tell you, I'm gonna come and save you. I tell you exactly what to do. I give you the blueprint and I psychologically manipulate you so that you can follow and focus on it. But if you quit, it's on you. Now, granted, I make it extremely difficult for you to quit. Extremely difficult using psychological manipulation techniques. And if you think this is evil, I manipulate you into fucking success. If you think this is evil, get the fuck out of my channel, right? I use these steps and I keep you hooked onto the project. I keep you hooked onto the platform. I keep you hooked so that you keep on growing and growing, and I make you successful, but it's not me directly. It's actually you. I say I make you, but I'm the vehicle that you used. Take credit for yourself. Nobody gives a flying fuck about you. Understand this, embrace it, and truly believe in it, and your life will change forever. It will truly change forever because you will never, for a single day in your life, give yourself any excuse, any reason to be a loser that day. You will hold yourself accountable, and you'll never, ever be that little bitch who says, oh, it's fine. Because you'll know it's not fine. You'll know it's not fine because unless you want to be on this side of the spectrum as a man, remember that bipolar side? Unless you want to be on this side, bro, you'll fucking charge forth and fuck the day every single day you wake up and charge towards your goals. Wish not for a lighter load, but for a stronger back.